Time to get buttery.
I have no idea what we're starting with.
I think we should have everybody here one day. Free for all. No commercials.
That would be the day I take off.
You know what?
That would be the day I take
You
off.
deserve yet another day off, bro. Dude, if you're a great orator and you could memorize your statement, and fine. If you can't, you can't. I just need the fact. What did I say when you called me earlier this week? You had a problem. What did I say? Lower your expectations.
Lower my expectations.
That's all you got.
What you said. Listen, we're going to disagree on that, and that's fine. We just have different philosophies. And somebody agrees with you. I got a tweet that said, to let that man read his... A tweet.
What? Somebody tweeted you?
The in full disclosure.
From the studios at All Access 660, it's the In Full Disclosure Show. I am your host, Mo Morris, along with my partner, Mr. Rasul Sharif. As always, the third man in the building is our resident engineer, Mr. Steve Wills. Please check us out at allaccess660.com. Or you can check us out on Zenapp, ZINNAPP.com. Type in All Access 660, and you will find out the latest and greatest stuff that we have going on here at All Access 660. If you want to talk to my partner, you can always check him out at Rasul Sharif 660 on Instagram and on Twitter. And if you like the smooth grooves you're going to hear today from our engineer, you can always reach out to him and ask for some sort of Dropbox music video or music sampling, I guess we should call it, at BreezeDBL on Instagram and on Twitter. Last but not least, if you want to speak with me, you can check me out at MoMorris660 on IG and on Twitter as well. Today is May the 24th. Happy Memorial Day weekend. For those of you out there looking at us live, you see that we are blue today.
Smurfs.
We are having a very blue morning today, so
Trying some new special effects.
we are definitely trying some new special effects, and we've turned out blue. So we're working on it. As you guys can see, we have people at the studio just ringing the doorbell, but nobody's saying who they are, so they have to wait outside. How are you today, partner?
I'm good, man. Just hanging in there and getting ready for this Memorial Day weekend. Remembering the real reason for the weekend as well. So thanks for all the troops who go out and do whatever they do for us.
Absolutely.
To enjoy these freedoms and liberties that we do. So, just excited about the weekend. Excited about the upcoming week. Things are happening at a very rapid rate now. So, just good to go. And I'm full of new energy now because I've been working out and I have not indulged in an adult beverage in almost 2 weeks now of any kind. So I have to say it is a difference. Sleeping patterns, energy, I thought it was a myth. And it's really not. So I go to sleep at a drop of a dime now. And we've talked before. I complain about how I can't go to sleep like 11:30, bro. And it's the battery shutting down. And I'm popping up at like 5:50 every single day.
Wow.
Every single day. It's like sleep up 5:50. So it's kind of crazy. But trying to lose a couple. Summertime's coming, beach is coming. So try to promote good health and see where it takes me.
Yeah, you have become an avid beach person over some time now.
Yes, I have. I still try to go to the beach in the evening though. That 100 degrees is 100 degrees whether it's on the beach or not. So yeah, there's a little more breeze, but that sun's a little hotter too. So try to go in the evening, but And not avid. Man, I went a couple times last summer.
Yeah.
Not avid, but
It's a couple times more than I went.
yeah. And like at this advanced age, um, you want to still have some respectability when you take the shirt off. So
Yeah, man, that's absolutely very true. You definitely want to do that. Anything special happen this week for you?
this week, no, not anything crazy. We did complete that project that we were working on that I really don't want to talk about on the airways because I don't want to give out the guy's private information.
Gotcha.
But it turned out really well. His people seem to have enjoyed it a lot. So may open up some new doors for some new business possibilities. So we'll see.
Okay. I also want to say hello to Feeway, who's listening today.
What's up, Feeway?
Friend to the family. She's actually family here to this room. Also, Baby Magic, I know that you are on and well this morning. Yes, we are blue.
Yes.
And Steve's shirt is blue.
Yes.
Looks yellow in here, but it's actually blue.
I'm a little disappointed in your introduction. You should have said, "Welcome to the Smurf edition of All Access."
Papa Smooth.
I'm not that quick with it. How are you today, Breeze?
I'm good, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little blue.
I see what you did. Okay, all right.
No, well, it's good, man. And real quick, I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Brian and Tracy Robinson on their nuptials. I hung out with them yesterday. Yeah, and your boy, Mr. Aviator. Life was in the house, and he's still. I think he's still in state. He might be in his travels back, but had a good time yesterday. And they told me to tell you guys what's happening.
Definitely.
Wish he would have came up.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen him if he had a minute. I do understand that, but definitely tell them we said hello if they're not listening today.
No doubt.
For sure. My week was cool, nothing special. Got through the week. Went out last night, hung out a little bit, went and watched some live music over at BB King's in the city.
Nice.
I tell you, man, I said this to you guys earlier. It made me realize how much I enjoy watching good live music, and it was really good. They did a basically I don't want to say a homage, but a homage, I guess, to 1964 to 63 to 72. Okay. They did basically all the old songs from then. The popular stuff. So there was some Marvin Gaye, there was the Drifters, there was James Brown, of course.
Any BB King?
I did not hear a BB King song. I did not.
R.I.P. to that too.
Yeah, definitely R.I.P. We lost the legend for sure. But it was packed, standing room only. I happened to be one of the people standing.
Hey, at least you were in the room.
I was in the room, standing room only. Great experience, great time. I have to say, I really enjoyed myself last evening. Late night because I ended up going out to dinner after that, and it was just a long evening getting back home. So, but real quick, and I know we're getting close to the break, but I wanted to bring up some ridiculousness that I found on the news today. I think I'm gonna start trying to do this every week, at least one article. Okay. I found this woman, and I you know what? I'm not even gonna say it's ridiculousness because I'm not gonna cast any judgment against this woman. But there's a woman in Germany who's 65 years old that gave birth to quintuplets last week.
Okay.
She's 65.
Okay.
She had 13 kids already, and she has 7 grandkids. Her youngest kid, who she gave birth to 7 years ago, which put her at 50, what's that, 58-ish?
Uh-huh.
Right. Said that she wanted a younger sibling. She's a single mom, and now she has 4 more kids at 65. And the kids were born under 26 weeks. She gave birth under 26 weeks.
Wow.
I'm not understanding.
Yeah, for the health concerns, I don't get it either. But
I mean, even for the kids, right? Like, I'm assuming, or I hope, that the older kids that she has, and my assumption is, and the article didn't go into how old the oldest was. I didn't see that they're probably going to take these kids along and pretty much raise them, right?
Yeah, but how many grandmothers and mothers anyway? So
I understand.
If there was a possibility to have some healthy kids at 60, 65, there's so many 60-year-old grandparents who are or even at that point, maybe even great grandparents who were playing parents anyway, especially to the grandkids and kids who were really young.
But you got 5 of them under 10, 4 of them under 1.
Some people are parenters, man. That's just what they do. Hopefully those kids, live long and healthy, prosperous lives. But yeah, I don't have an issue with. I mean, the only issue I would have with it is the health risk of.
It's amazing
having a 65-year-old woman trying to have some kids, but I don't know much about the whole childbirthing situation and how old's too old and all that. So I'm not an expert to respond.
Listen, as I said, I wasn't going to call it ridiculousness, but I just found it to be a very interesting article that I found. I'm going to try and find a reason.
That ought to be interesting. All right, coming up next, and I'm looking at the logo. The All Access logo looks like it's on fire back there. And for you guys who don't listen normally, it's really supposed to be blue too. So it's weird, right? It's a weird dynamic. Steve has a yellow shirt on, and the All Access symbol is yellow. And then in real life, the All Access symbol is blue, and now Steve's shirt's blue. Are we in an alternate universe here? All right, coming up next, we're going to get into some NBA, it looks like. We got NFL on the list, and I'm going to get at somebody today. I rarely do it. We talked about it in pre-production, so yeah. And Mo talks about her all the time, like she's ever going to listen to the show. And if she does, good. We'll see. We'll be back in a couple.
Send my mind, baby, just a little bit.
21 minutes after the hour, back to the Full Disclosure Show. Please stay tuned. Directly after our show, 12 to 1, Fully Disclosed, Mr. Breeze DBL is going to put down the latest hip-hop, club classics, R&B. So please stay tuned. Also, I wanted to say thank you again so much to our guests that we had last week. We had the men and women's basketball coach for Georgian Court University on today and last week, and we wanted to really say that we really appreciate them. They are friends to this room. They are family to this room now. I mean, they came bearing all sorts of gifts and just everything. So I definitely wanted to make sure we said thank you to them. That's Coach Brian Reese and Coach Jazz. I'm not going to even butcher her name, and she's okay with me calling her Coach Jazz. What's
Coach
wrong?
Jazz, I apologize, too. I was sending you that file today. Totally slipped my mind.
Yeah, so definitely I wanted to say thank you for them for coming in. They gave us a great show last week. I really enjoyed the interview. And definitely we will have them back on again, whether it's just on the phone. We'll definitely go and check out both of their basketball squads this year. They're looking for some big things to happen there. So definitely shouts to them. So the NBA Finals is going on. Conference Finals, sorry. We basically may as well just go ahead and go to the NBA Finals. I think both of these conference finals are over at this point.
Right.
Last night, Golden State went into Houston and basically demolished them. Now, I admittedly did not get a chance to see the first half of this game at all, and that's probably when all the work was done.
Right.
When I got to watch the game, I think the score was 62-37. I got a text from you basically saying, hey, it's halftime, and they're up 25 or whatever the number was.
Hey, you're not missing anything.
I'm not missing anything.
Right.
So what did I miss? I mean, I saw highlights, obviously, but did Houston just come out with zero energy? Well, what was the issue?
So, for me watching the game, first off, Josh Smith is who Josh Smith is. All right. And so, hot, cold, and I put Josh Smith in I hope I'm not being – I'm just going to use this as an example. I'm going to put Josh Smith in the J.R. Smith category. And I'm not saying he's as good as J.R. Smith, but I mean, when you're depending on him to be essentially – from an offensive perspective, a number two. It's from just purely scoring. When you're looking for 20 from Josh didn't see a shot out there that he didn't like. He hit not one. Like there's not this whole ball movement stuff. He's just shooting. James Harden came out. He wasn't as aggressive as he should have been. Let me touch on James Harden for a second too, because this kind of irks me a little bit. He initiates so much contact that I don't know how you're not calling offensive fouls. When he does his move and he's driving to the basket and stops and does his fadeaway, he pushes off every single time. Every single time. So it makes him unguardable because they're not going to call that. And then if you put your hands up, he's going to sweep through your hands and they're going to make that call. But he was settling for jump shots early. I think he had like 8 free throws in the first half, which is going to the foul line 4 times.
Right.
There were some calls that he normally gets that he didn't get, but they were calls that were – I wouldn't necessarily give him. So I didn't think it was the refs missing a call. It was
regular
just,
season calls.
Right. This is what you're going to get in the regular season. Now it's playoff time.
Right.
And it's crazy because the difference in the game was the turnovers to me in the first half.
Okay.
Golden State only had 1 turnover in the first half.
Okay.
And it was like an offensive foul or something.
Oh, wow.
Or it wasn't even a physical turnover.
So they were efficient.
Very efficient. They didn't shoot that well. They shot like 45% from the floor.
Okay.
Steph didn't do anything in the first quarter. Then the second quarter, he just went bananas. And all you people out there who was even having a conversation about this James Harden, Steph Curry
It's not
thing.
fair. Stop. I saw your text last night, your tweet. It's not fair.
What was it?
You said, are we positive of who the MVP is now or something like that, you said?
Listen.
It's not fair.
Listen.
Not what you do in the playoffs, regular season.
Listen. I like what Steph did in the regular season.
Right.
I thought that Steph had a better year than he did in the regular season.
Fine.
All right. Now we got the money on the line. We got the money on the line.
Doesn't matter.
Your boy walks in there and wows out.
It's a regular season award.
Okay. He wows out.
He absolutely did. I'm going to sing his praises, so go ahead.
He wows out. By the time the first half was over, it was over. Like it was over, and you could tell Houston came out with a little 6-0 run or a 7-0 run, start the second half, and then the problem with a 7-0 run or an 8-0 run or a 9-0 run against Golden State is it's 2-3 threes and
they right back to it.
Right, and you can get that quick. I mean, they turn defense into offense, and they get to offense. Forget turning defense into offense because they're scoring points off of made shots. But they go offense so fast, and they have such great motion in their offense when they run it. The only time Golden State gets in trouble is when they try to get too cute, and I tweeted that out a couple of days ago. In the first half, they weren't doing it. It wasn't a ton of behind the back passes. It wasn't a ton of any of that. It was just solid basketball, and that's why they really had no issues. So, I mean, it was good to go.
Well, as I said, I didn't get a chance to see the first half, but I got a chance to watch the second half, and I watched it as I was eating dinner, so I didn't really pay that much attention because it wasn't a close game. I'm gonna say this: James Harden was 3 for 16. Took 12 free throws. He was 10 for 12, I think, for the game. Dwight Howard had 14 and 14, I think. You touched on Josh Smith. Here are my thoughts on Josh Smith.
Wait, before you get to Josh, Dwight came out like he was ready to go.
Did he?
Dwight came out like he was ready to go. And he had a dunk in the first half that was like in the first quarter. That was Dwight Howard, third year in the league.
Okay.
He took two dudes to the rim with him.
Okay.
So it was kind of crazy. But then I think that when you look at a team like Golden State, and I always try to put myself in that situation, I'm down 20 to them. I'm going, this might be over.
Right.
I'm down 20 to,
Minnesota.
Right. Or a team that's not the Bulls.
Right.
I think I could, if I get my offense going, you can't imagine that you're going to get a quarter that Golden State's not going to put up 25.
Right.
So I'm down 20. That means I got to put up 45 to tie him.
Right.
So I think that it starts to creep into your psyche.
Well, I'm happy to hear Josh Smith came out. I mean, Dwight Howard came out like he wanted to play last night. So I'm happy to hear that because I did see his post-game comments, and essentially what he said was we just didn't play hard. He said they played harder than we did. Yeah. By the way, the suit and the tie he had on was spectacular last night. And he had on like anyway, I'll tell you guys off here. But I was actually I couldn't believe I actually liked the suit when I saw it. But the tie said it all. It was kind of sharp. He looked sharp last night when he was sitting at the podium. Josh Smith, extremely talented kid, player. I mean, he's talented.
He's got the tools.
He has the tools.
Right.
He's 6'8". He has a nice sized body. He's athletic. He can put the ball on the floor to where you're not going to just take it from him every time. Not a great shooter. And if he worked on his jump shot, he could be basically almost a star in this league.
Oh, he could be an all-star player. He's I don't know if that part of his athleticism has passed him, but he could have been that type of player.
He just needs to work on his jump shot. It's amazing to me, as you said, he has not found a shot he does not like yet. I mean, he just does anything he wants to shoot. He shoots it. Sometimes he just throws it up at the basket. I swear I just get confused with him. And, he helped them beat the Clippers last week.
Here's the analogy that I would give Josh Smith and your boy Jordan. And I'm saying your boy. Let me be clear. I love Mike, but you love Mike on some eternal astronomical level.
Closest thing to a hero I have in this world.
I'm so disappointed by that.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead. All right. Remember what Mike said about Drexler? You wanted to make his first couple shots, and then he thinks that's right. Josh. Josh had a great game. And people talking Josh. Now Josh is like, I'm the man. And that's the absolute downfall for this guy. As soon as he goes out and has a good game and starts hearing the chatter, now he thinks he was out there shooting like he was the one.
But here's the deal, right? It makes me feel bad for the Atlanta Hawks fans for when he was in the league and he was the one or two down in Atlanta when he was getting 17, 18 a night. What were they watching? If he's that bad now, what was he then? I can't imagine the shots he was taking.
Remember,
can't.
So he had fashioned himself as some kind of 3-point shooter,
right?
And so for him going to Houston, and they believe in all the numbers, then all the 3-point shots they encourage their players to take. It's a perfect situation for him.
Yeah, but it's the worst situation for the Rockets,
right? But it's a horrible situation for the Rockets because he's not that good of a shooter. Like I think Trevor Ariza is a better shooter.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So Trevor's out. I thought Trevor played pretty well. Most of these playoffs.
I'm with you 100%.
Josh is out there. Trevor's not out there walking around like he's the one.
No, he's not.
Trevor knows his role. And the amazing part about it is you can play your role and still get 20.
Yes. Trevor's a prime example of that.
Right. And when you play on that squad, I would love to play on that squad. I can still get 20. I don't have to be the one. I can still get 20 without – and I can still get my shots without anybody giving me any beef. But you know what? When we down here and Harden's down here, he's the best player on the team. Harden's down here and I'm down here. I got to give Harden the ball in a situation where it's either me or him. But there'll be enough situations for it to be me, and I can go out there and do my thing.
James Harden, I'm going to get on him a little bit. I'm disappointed in him for a couple of reasons. From what you told me, and I obviously didn't see the first half. But from what happened in Game 2, when he turned the ball over, when he made the mistake of dribbling into a double team instead of bringing the ball back to the middle or trying to create some contact, which is what he always does, or trying to go around Steph Curry on the left side, in that particular play.
Yeah, I don't think he gets around Steph.
Okay, and that's fine. You may be 100%
Steph.
correct, right? But he should have shot a jump shot, or he should have took the ball back to the center of the court before he dribbled into the double team. But he decides to dribble into the double team and throw the ball back to Dwight Howard at the top of the key, who's not going to be able to give you anything there. Now, there's probably, when he got that ball, there may have been 8-10 seconds on the clock, maybe even 11. So he pushes the ball all the way up, dribbles into the double team, and this is Game 2 for people who didn't get a chance to, who's not following. He throws the ball back to Dwight Howard. What is Dwight Howard going to do with it there? They're down 1 point. They throw it back to James Harden, and now there's a scramble for the ball. They go home with a loss. Didn't get a shot up, which is the worst thing you can do is not get a shot. When you got the ball, you got to be able to get at least attempt at the rim. Right. And they don't even get a shot. Fine. I expected him, and he took some heat for that. And he knows he made a mistake. He knows he shouldn't have thrown the ball back to Dwight Howard at the top of the key because there's nothing. And maybe he didn't realize it was Dwight. There's speculation.
He didn't. Right.
And that's
so
fine.
He didn't. So.
That's fine. But he should have centered the ball anyway. You're the guy that's rolling because he had 38 that night or 39. He rolling. Right. Why are you even looking to pass the ball? Your mindset should have been the entire time, I'm going to either get a jump shot, I'm going to either get to the basket, or I'm going to get fouled. I'm going to be one of these three, but this ball is not leaving my hands. If you're the guy, it shouldn't be leaving his hands for any stretch of the imagination. So fine. He takes the heat for that, and he didn't get like a ton of criticism, but he got to eat that, right? He had a great game. I'm not saying he did. He missed a triple-double by 1 assist, I think. Great game, but he got to eat that. He made a bad decision. Fine. For him to come out and go 3 for 16 in Game 3 at home, and admittedly by one of your players, by Dwight Howard, you're probably your second best player on your team, says that they didn't come out and play as hard as Golden State. I got to knock him again because that's his team. So if his team doesn't come out and play hard, I gotta start with you because you set the tone, and you admittedly just said to me that he came out kind of passive. Is that the words you used? Right. Or not aggressive?
Right, not aggressive.
I gotta start with you because you should have been the guy to set the tone for that game. And if it took you coming out in the first quarter taking 8-9 shots, so be it.
I'm not making excuses for the dude, but I will say this, and I hate to be in his situation only because and I'm not sure what game this was. It was the Memphis series, Golden State, where Steph didn't have a good game. Mm-hmm. They lost. And Steph came out trying to get other teammates involved before he got rolling. Mm-hmm. And so I think that you got to have some kind of balance. And I don't know what the balance is. So you said, I don't care if he took 8, 9, 10 shots in the first quarter. Fine. That may be one philosophy. The other philosophy may be, do I make sure I get everybody involved? Where I would knock him is at what point, we down 10 now, maybe I'm going, we down 10, I got to take over. So, I think that there would be some point. So, I might be trying to get all my teammates involved if I'm the best player on the team because I'm not going to win this by myself.
He's not LeBron James, right? And that's what LeBron used to get knocked for because he come out and try to get you can't. So, on top of that, you have to look at the situation. You're down 2-0. And you're at home. This is a must-win for you.
Yeah, but I think you can, but I think there's got to be a cutoff limit. So whether your cutoff limit is if we go down 5, we go down 10, we go down 8, whatever it is, because you can't win a game by yourself. And I'm one who says I've seen role player guys who, if they're not involved in the beginning, they're not going to be helpful at the end when you really need them. Hold that thought. We got to take a break. We'll be back in. That's like one of those. That's like one of those TV shows. Any of you guys watch that 500 questions thing?
No.
That's crazy. But the host will say, what category are you gonna choose? Such and such. The question is after the break. Oh. So we'll be back in 3 minutes.
41 minutes after the hour, back to the Full Disclosure Show. Again, please stay tuned from 12 to 1. Fully disclosed. Breeze DBL is going to put it down. As you guys can hear some Luther going just now. He'll have some of that for you at 12 o'clock today as well. All right, before we went to the break, we were talking about the Houston Rockets Golden State Warriors series, and we were talking about James Harden, and I was kind of getting on James a little bit about not coming out extremely aggressive last night. And you were basically saying that you're kind of the mindset, depending upon your philosophy, that the star guy maybe want to come out and get his role players involved, right? Because you're saying that a lot of times at the end of games, if they're not involved early, then they're not going to be as helpful late. Right. Here's where I'm going to knock you. Or not agree with you, not even knock you. I'm just not gonna agree with you.
I'm about to say I didn't do it.
Right? Yeah, I'm not gonna agree with you. I'm of the belief that if he comes out and gets rolling, he's gonna make the game easier for all these other role players. Because if he comes out and does what Steph Curry did in the second quarter last night, how open is the rest of the game for everybody else? How open is it? He's gonna get these open shots for all of these guys because all of the attention is gonna go to him.
Right. I don't necessarily disagree with that. So I'm not saying that I have an issue with that. I'm just saying that you got to pick and choose. So I think that may have been what he was trying to do. And again, listen, he put up numbers in the last game, game two.
Yes, he did.
He put up numbers, but he also assisted on a lot of numbers. He made a lot of stuff easy. And remember, it wasn't like all these. I mean, you didn't see the game, so it wasn't like every single shot was contested and they missed shots. The same shots they hit in game 2 are shots that they missed in game 3. So I'm not upset with what he did. I'm more upset with him not drawing the line at some point and just saying, you know what, we down 8 now. You know, you played a playground game where you might just be like, hey, everybody's playing, okay, it's 7-2. And like I played with Street, and Street will come up and be like, yo, either me or you shoot, and that's it. Right. So, I mean, I think that there's just some point as the star or one of the guys who, whether it's two stars, whether it's Dwight and James Harden saying that, like, yo, dude, we got to take these shots now. I'm with you. I'd rather lose with the ball in my hand. So I'd rather, if we lost and I was 10 or 40, I might just be like, hey, I was the best option. That might work for me. I don't know if I could put up 40 shots, but you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I completely get it. And, you know, it also just disturbs me that they came out so flat because those 2 games at Golden State, they had an opportunity to win both of them. They were separated by 5 games, those 5 points, those 2 games. Wow. They had a chance to basically potentially win both of those games in Golden State.
And that's the thing where I didn't expect Golden State to lose game 3 because I thought that they'd be demoralized. Like
I didn't. I looked at it differently.
Yeah, I expected a blowout. Really? Not 30, but I was double digits. Oh, absolutely. Because I just think it's demoralizing. Like at some point you got to look. And the Golden State guy said it. Draymond Green said it yesterday in the post game, where he was like, "We played decently in the first 2 games, but we know we didn't play our best." Mm-hmm. So he's essentially insinuating that it gave us their best shot. And, yeah, they played with us, and they could have beat us both times. Could you imagine the Rockets playing any better than they played those 2 games?
Yes, because they're home.
No,
absolutely.
But I'm saying not much better than that. That's pretty much probably the best they can give you.
Okay, and I expect them to win because that little bit more that they're going to give you.
Yeah, but I saw Golden State playing at 70%.
Agreed, but now they're going on a roll, and their role players got to go play on the road.
They got the best role record in the league.
I'm not saying that they don't, but they still role players, right? That got to go play on the road.
Yeah, I know. First off, here was my thing, and where I got it wrong. I told you Draymond Green's the X factor for me.
Right.
What's he gonna do? He was 17-13 last night or something crazy. Like I'm not saying I can pencil in 17-13 for Draymond Green, so I can't really predict this. But what second am I gonna get the 25-point game from Clay? And so I kind of thought that I was going to get a good game from Clay.
We're going to get into him a little later, too. But
especially when they switched. So in the beginning of the game, you didn't see it.
No.
They started off with Harrison Barnes on
James Harden
to kind of free up Clay Thompson. And they let Clay bring the ball up. So they were making a concerted effort to get Clay involved in the offense. And as soon as they started that, I said, oh, yeah, this is over. Because I saw the subtle coaching change.
Right.
Where the stress of, we've talked about it before, the stress of having to defend the best player and still expecting to get 20.
Right.
That's a big burden to shoulder. So, as soon as first play, when I saw Clay, and they were talking, Mark Jackson and Van Gundy were talking about it on the telecast. Wow, they got Clay bringing the ball up to kind of get him more into the offense. And Clay took the first couple of shots, so you knew they were trying to get Clay rolling in the beginning. I said, yeah, this is over. And Clay still hasn't gotten off. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I expect Clay to get me 20. That's not a unfair, unrealistic expectation to say, wow, could Clay get me 20 in a game? If Clay gets 20, I'll be afraid of what's gonna happen out there. I'm not asking Clay to get me 40. Clay, get your average of 21. Clay get 21, I think everybody's got a problem. Now, that's just my opinion. And
Hey,
maybe
can
I'm
I just
wrong
say
with that.
this
It's
real
just my
quick?
opinion.
That was one thing that I noticed in that last game. He wasn't. I think the stress of Harden took a toll on him because he wasn't on at all, and that game was close. So if he really came into the light, they're tough, man. They are tough, and he really hasn't come to the table yet.
I'm biting my tongue on Klay Thompson a little bit. We're gonna get into Klay Thompson a little bit later, but I'm biting my tongue right now on speaking about Klay Thompson.
Hey, Mo, be fully disclosed.
Nah, we're gonna get to him a little bit later. But okay, listen, I agree. If he comes in and he gets his 20 plus, it makes it extremely hard to beat that team.
Right.
Not gonna say that it doesn't. I agree with you 100%.
Right, my point is, hey, even if you got an issue with Clay, and like you said, we'll get to him. If you don't expect Clay to get it in 7 games in a 7-game series, fine. I'm saying if Clay get it half the time, that half I expect to win. I expect to win when Clay gets to 20. Because now I understand. There's no more question about is Steph going to do what Steph does, right? We can pretty much put that to
Oh,
bed.
yeah.
So Steph's going to do what Steph does. So if I had 20 from him and 40 from Steph last night, if Golden State would have played any way offensively, anything close to what they normally do when they go on runs like this would have been a 45-point game. They were up 25, and when I was looking like it looked like they were up 40. This game would have been blown. The door. They won by 30. The doors would have been completely blown off of the Rockets. And I know the Rockets sitting there saying right now, because now when we're in here and we're looking at the stats, and we were down 25, and they only shot 45% from the floor. You got to be in the back of your mind saying, how many more times are they going to play horribly? Offensively, they did not play great in the first half, and you were down 25. I get it. You blitz me and you making every shot. We saw some teams in the playoffs this year. First half shooting 55, 60%. And teams got 60, 65 points in the first half. I get it. I'm okay with that going. They can't shoot 65% again. You come hitting 40, 45% and I'm down 25, I'm saying to myself, we in trouble. And I'll be the first one to say we in trouble. We in trouble. I whisper it to my best friend on the team too. We are in trouble. Trouble. Yeah, we in trouble.
So is it safe to say that series is over?
Over.
Now, they just came back from 3-1.
Let me quote Blake Griffin. Over.
They just came back from 3-1.
First off.
Okay, I just put it out there.
Here we go. Golden State hasn't lost more than 2 in a row all year. They only lost 3 at home, which would require them to beat them at home twice and beat them 4 straight.
Okay. Listen.
You're a gambler. You wouldn't bet on that.
I absolutely would not.
Okay. All right.
And that's what bothers me about that. And I'm glad you said the Clippers. It bothers me that Houston won that series because we are missing out on what would have been an epic series if the Clippers would have played Golden State, because they wouldn't be running through the Clippers this way. They would not. It wouldn't be 3-0. I think that the Clippers would because they just don't like each other, and I think that the games would have been totally different.
I don't think they got the firepower. I think Houston beat them because of that, because they just weren't consistent.
I just believe that Golden State brings out a different animal in the Clippers.
The same thing with the Clippers, right? And
styles make fights, right? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But with the Clippers, the thing with the Clippers was, and it's the fool's gold mentality, right? So Austin Rivers go out and get me 20. Now we like, oh, we got a bench. Right. Now Austin Rivers feeling himself. Austin Rivers is the same dude that was having a problem getting off the bench in New Orleans. So these couple little games he had, one against San Antonio and maybe 1-2 against the Rockets, and now Austin Rivers and Jamal Crawford are my 2 go-to guys off the bench. I'm not worried.
Well, I won't say I'm not going to be
I'm worried about Jamal, because Jamal could go Jamal any day. Austin Rivers, I'm losing no sleep against Austin Rivers, and you're bigger on Austin Rivers than I am.
Yeah, I like Austin. I want to give him more of a chance.
Sleep over this dude. And listen, man, just a side note.
He's a wild card, man.
Right, but again, it's I'm not losing sleep over J.R. Smith either, and I know we're gonna get to him. I'm not losing sleep over him. I mean, how many times is he gonna give me 28? I'm not losing. He's gonna.
I like J.R. Smith though.
I like him too. I'm not losing any sleep over him though. I like dudes that I'm not gonna lose sleep over. But let me give you a little side note. So Smitty's under the rim on NBA TV.
Okay.
You know, he's got his top 5 for the playoffs, and he's showing Austin Rivers gives Jason Terry a little move, hits the jump shot, and kind of stirs the pot like James Harden.
Right.
So they show him do it. They show him stir the pot, and then they show a replay, and they show him, and then they zoom in on Harden on the bench, and Harden is like kind of giving him this scowl, just like. Then in the next game, James Harden hit it with a bing, 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 and then on Austin Rivers, he's running down, stirring the pot, and everybody in Houston is stirring the pot up there. I said, young fella, one move in your career, you talking already? Slow down. So yeah, he got his back real quick. It was crazy. Hashtag Under the Rim on Twitter, and so you can see the video. Nuts.
I will absolutely take a look at that
Yeah.
for sure. All right, so let's talk about the Clippers just for a second. So they choked basically away the Clippers Houston Rockets series, right? I mean, we're done with the Golden State Rockets for now, but they choked away that series.
Yes, right. Golden State bought them to the Golden State Rockets. Yeah. They the Warriors, but yeah, we own the Rockets.
No, that's what I meant. We're
you
we're
mean the
done
Warriors
with,
Rockets?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So we're done with that series, right? Who are we giving blame to for that loss? Because we didn't get a chance to talk about it.
Well, I'd like to hear who you're giving blame to first, and then I'll tell you who I'm giving blame to.
I'm giving blame to everybody.
Okay.
And we'll start with my boy Blake Griffin. Again, no points in the fourth quarter, right? So again,
Of game 6.
right? So he did in game 5 and he did in game 6 and 7.
Was it game 5 or games? They were up 3-1.
They lost in 7.
No,
right?
game 6 and game
Right. It was
6.
6 and 7 he did it, right?
Wait, they lost 5, 6, and 7.
Right, but those 2 games he didn't have any points in the fourth quarter.
No. One of the other. It was in one game he didn't have points in the fourth
But
quarter.
he didn't do much in the fourth
Yeah, he
quarter,
didn't do
though.
much either, right.
Or whatever. He didn't really show up. So I'm going to start with him and say, hey, and he had great playoffs. I mean, I would put him in the MVP category for playoffs, right? He would be one of the 4 or 5 guys that I'm going to name as MVP for the playoffs. But he didn't get it done, and they lost. So I'm going to start with him. I'm going to give Chris Paul a little bit of blame because he's the leader of that team. So he's got to take some blame.
And I thought Chris played well in the playoffs.
And he played.
too.
Yeah, he absolutely
Right.
played well. And
Yeah.
I'm not a Chris Paul guy, but he absolutely played well. But Doc Rivers got to get a little more blame.
Oh,
And
for sure.
he gets a pass, and that's something that the media talks about quite a bit now, is how he gets a pass because everybody loves Doc Rivers. Now, and I was listening to these talking heads last week, whether it's because he's the GM, we're going to give him blame because there's no bench, or is it because he's the coach and he couldn't figure out a way to stop the bleeding? I think they all get some blame.
All right, so I'm gonna give Doc probably less blame than the players because at some point, and I probably will wind up giving, reluctantly, I'd probably wind up giving Chris more the blame than anybody, because as you said, he's the leader. You're an extension of coaching on the court. See, here's what I got in it. I can't say anything about DeAndre Jordan because he doesn't have the ball like that, but. You got 3 All-NBA performers. DeAndre and Blake made third team All-NBA, and Chris Paul was second team All-NBA. I'm up 19 in the third. It's not much more coaching I have to do.
I won't say I disagree with you. It's so many possessions left in the NBA.
No, it's so. Okay, if I'm coaching my 5th grade squad, I get it. I'm saying I got my guys out here. I got my All-NBA guys out here. They gotta perform at some point, and I'm not gonna act like Doc just sat there like Phil Jackson with his legs crossed and just did whatever.
Wow, it's just a shot at Phil Jackson.
No. But I'm saying that was a part of his coaching style.
It's almost like he didn't coach. But go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm sure Doc was telling them to do something, but at some point you gotta make some shots. If you're just not gonna make any shots, I don't know how I put that on Doc.
Well, we put it on him as a GM.
I got Blake Griffin out here. He's giving me 0 points in the fourth quarter. How's that my fault?
Okay, well, let's put it on him as a GM then, because there's no bench, so
That's
he had
fine.
nobody else to go to.
And that's why I said I would give Doc some. I give Doc the GM more of the blame than Doc.
I think he gets a little bit of ball.
Okay, I'm just saying more. I didn't say I would give it all to him, but I would give Doc the GM more blame than Doc the coach. But how you lose a 19-point lead? Like how you do that?
That doesn't surprise me as much because it happens all the time in the NBA. It's just so many possessions. I mean, it's just so you basically got 15 minutes worth of game time left. It's not a lot of points. It's
I
really
shouldn't
not.
go minus 20.
It happens though, right? We just watched the Rockets do it last night. It happens.
Watch the Rockets. No, when Golden State was up 26.
No, but they got up though. Is what I'm saying. Like they had to have a bad spurt somewhere, so it happens.
Right. But I'm saying like I think that so much of it becomes the players getting tight, which is less coaching than the players getting tight.
And I disagree with you because that same run, if it happened in the first quarter, we wouldn't care. We would give it a pass. Like we watched the Rockets do it last night.
But we didn't give it a pass because we talked about we absolutely didn't give it a pass because we're talking about the Rockets getting blown out last night, and we didn't mention Kevin McHale's name one time.
Right. But we give it a pass because we're not saying the player got tight.
Well, what happened? Well, we found some reason to.
Yeah,
put
we
the
said
blame
they didn't
on-
come out playing hard. That's what they
Okay,
said. But
right,
we're not
so
saying they're tight.
Okay, so take the tight out. We absolutely put all the blame on the Rocket players. We didn't put any blame on anything Kevin McHale did.
Well, I didn't because I didn't see it. So that's why I'm not gonna assign any blame.
Nobody. I'm just forget me
Right.
and you. Nobody's saying it's something Kevin McHale did. There's nobody out here on TV you can find that said Kevin McHale did something and that's why they lost by 30. They put that blame on the players.
It's the second time we've seen Doc Rivers lose a 3-1 lead. Second time we've seen it.
I'm saying I'm fine with that. I'm just at some point we put this 30-point loss on the players, dude. We didn't put the 30-point loss on the coach or the GM. We didn't put it on this GM. Why not put it on him for going to get Josh? We're not even talking about. We talked about Josh, but we didn't talk about the GM who went and acquired Josh.
I think that's because we expected the Clippers to win. No one expects Houston to beat Golden State, so that's why we're not going to talk about it.
But you expected Houston to win last night. I didn't.
I did expect Houston.
Right.
Yes, I did expect.
And there was a
Houston
bunch. Everybody on TV expected Golden State to lose last night because they thought the Rockets were coming home doing whatever they were doing. All right, coming up next, is it more NBA?
Yeah, we got to do something with this Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan situation.
All right, more NBA. We're talking Clippers. He's got some NFL on here, and I got to get at somebody. Save that for the second hour. Halfway home, people. We'll be back in 3 minutes. It's time to get buttery.
I have no idea what we're starting with.
I think we should have everybody here one day. Free for all. No commercials.
That would be the
through.
day I take off.
You know what?
That would be the day I take
You
off.
deserve yet another day off, bro. Dude, if you're a great orator and you could memorize your statement, fine. If you can't, you can't. I just need the fact. What did I say when you called me earlier this week? You had a problem. What did I say? Lower your expectations.
Lower my expectations.
That's all you
What
got.
you said. Listen, we're gonna disagree on that, and that's fine. We just have different philosophies. If somebody agrees with you, I got a tweet that
course they
said, "To let that man
got
read
what?
his." A tweet.
What? Somebody tweeted you.
The in full disclosure.
Two minutes after that, we're back to the In Full Disclosure show, and we're back to our regular color. Please stay tuned from 12 to 1. Fully disclosed. Mr. Breeze DBL is going to put it down with the latest classic hip hop, club classics, and R&B.
Yeah, text us if you prefer us in blue.
Absolutely. Smurf edition is gone, as my partner called it. Right?
I'm Grumpy Smurf. Grumpy Smurf.
Yeah, I don't remember. All I remember is Papa Smurf, and there was a little girl on there. That's about
Smurfette.
it. Yeah, I don't remember nothing else about that show. As you guys can see, we have a guest in the building. Our boy Sahid is in the building today with us. How are you, sir?
Big sigh.
I'm fine.
Good. Welcome to the show.
People's voices get a little deeper when they get on.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Not
For
even.
sure.
Not even.
For sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
I'm fine. Yeah. James Earl Saeed.
So before we went into the break, we were talking about the Clippers and we were talking about the blame game, about who choked away the last series with the Houston Rockets. But I have a question for you. Or there's a scenario, a situation allegedly going on, and there's no real confirmation of this. But Apparently, Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan don't get along very well. Apparently, Chris Paul rides him quite a bit about the fact that he can't make free throws and about the fact that he's kind of challenged offensively a bit. So he doesn't think he works hard enough on his craft when it comes to certain things. Now, DeAndre Jordan is a free agent this summer. And there are rumors out there, and supposedly via back channels, he's basically said to the Dallas Mavericks he's interested in coming there. He is from Texas. Houston is where he's from.
Is your source Michael Irvin?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Because he's the one talking to DeAndre.
Well, it sounds like it may be working.
Okay.
Now, if you're DeAndre Jordan, he's probably going to get very close to a max deal, even if he doesn't get one. He's going to be very close. He played extremely well for them this year. Right? So somebody's going to pay him some money. But do you leave the Clippers because of Chris Paul and go to an old, aging Dallas team?
No, I don't leave. I mean, I think that Chris Paul has helped making DeAndre Jordan what he is. So he's a player that he's got to understand that he's offensively challenged.
Agreed.
If I'm Chris Paul, I don't know if I'm necessarily getting on him like that because at the end of the day, he's extremely productive overall.
He covers up a lot of ills defensively for
Right,
them.
right. A lot of guys. He's first team all defender.
Yes.
Third team all league. He was third team all NBA. So I don't leave though because I know that a lot of if I'm getting 15 a game, I'm getting 8 of them on lobs.
Yeah, he gets. I think he averages 13 a game.
So I'm still getting 8 of them on lobs.
But can't Mike Conley give him that?
Well, that's Memphis.
No, but I'm just saying another guy like Mike Conley, and I just threw him out there because he's just an average point guard to me. Can't the average guy get him those same 4 lobs?
You know, I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to gamble and see if somebody else could do it. I got a good situation here. I'm getting more offensive numbers than I probably should be getting.
And management should tell Chris to relax a little bit.
Yeah, Doc Rivers not gonna tell him that.
I said management.
Well, he is management.
They can go over Doc head.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
They can go over Doc.
They love Doc over there. It's not gonna
I'm
happen.
not saying they don't. They can tell him, yo, tell your boy to curve it a little bit, just a little bit.
I'm a different dude too, man. If you paying me, I don't care what you say. As long as you put your hands on me, we good. You could talk to me.
Yeah, but this is the player
day.
though. This is player to player. So he's not paying him.
No, I'm saying, but if I'm not gonna leave a situation that's productive for me, that's gonna affect my money. And if you figure DeAndre's probably 2 contracts, he's probably got 2 contracts. He probably get a 4-year now and then another contract and be over, right? Because he's 25.
He's 26.
26, so he probably get another contract at 30.
Right.
Yeah, I don't care what he's saying to me.
Really?
No, I don't.
Day in and day out, you gonna deal with that nonsense?
Shame on DeAndre. You 6'9", 6'10". You got some little 6'1".
Left.
You got some little 6'1" guy telling you, 6 foot guy telling you. Yo,
Can't put your hands on him though.
Yeah, I know. So you know what, Cliff?
You can't do nothing to him though.
Yeah, I'm not saying. And Cliff is definitely not gonna do nothing to him.
Well,
so
Cliff would do something to him before DeAndre did something to him.
You know what, little man? Mind your business, little man.
And if he doesn't,
mind your business. It's that all. It's that simple, bro.
How much could talking bother me? I would just put
after
my
a while,
put my headphones on and give him the finger.
Because you in practice now, and you got to deal with that. Trust me, it's gonna be harder than you think.
Nah, that wouldn't bother. 1st and 15th, we get them NBA checks.
Yeah, but he can go get those same NBA checks somewhere else.
But I'm thinking about my next check too. Yeah, I'm all right.
It all depends on the person. If your personality, if you have a personality where you let people bother you by words, then it'll bother you. If it doesn't, then you know what. And it might be bothering. It might be bothering DeAndre. But if you have that personality where you can just overlook it, it shouldn't bother you.
Let me be DeAndre. You be Chris. Let me tell you what I would say if I was DeAndre. Just say something to me.
I'm Chris. DeAndre, you need to figure out, when you can't make free throws, how often you need to stay here a couple of hours a day and work on these free throws. What are you doing? This is the reason why we're not winning some of these close games. These guys are slowing the flow of the game down because they fouling you, hack Jordan. What are you trying to do about this?
As soon as you win something more than me, then I'll listen to you. Next.
Yeah,
next.
Fine, and that's fine. You can say that. You can say that, but it's just a hostile working
Paul
environment.
Pierce in here, he talking to me. Okay, I'll listen to Paul. I'm not listening to you, dude.
It's a hostile work environment. It's tough.
And you know, with it being hostile, we all grown. My man, watch how you talk to me.
Okay, but he can't put his hands on Chris Paul. He will be blackballed around the league. He can't.
I'm not saying he will.
So
it's
then
just a
what's
way.
the point? Then?
Yeah, watch how you talk to me.
Okay,
I'm not escalating, but if you think you can say what you want to say to me because I'm not playing as hard as you think I'm not, then you know what? I can say what I want to say to you. It's all words, right?
Okay.
The dude plays hard. I think he plays hard. I just think that he's
Right. The guy don't get 15 rebounds, then y'all gonna cry he ain't playing hard. If he only grab 8, 9 rebounds, then they be like, oh, he wasn't playing hard enough.
Or if this is the deal, like, and this is where you'll know. If Chris got that much of a problem and he's got that much juice in the organization, they don't bring him back. So if you want to bring him back, yeah, Chris, they brought me back. If you want to bring him back, shut up, man.
I don't think Chris has enough that kind of juice in the organization. I think Chris knows he needs him, but Chris is still going to ride him, though.
Okay, some criticism is constructive. But, again, I'll put some of that blame on Chris. If you're going to make a dude feel so uncomfortable that he can't perform, it's only going to hurt you. It's like I never got it when you go to a home game and the fans are booing the team that's playing for you. You're just making the guy that you need to perform more uncomfortable. If I'm a leader, I'm not going to make this dude feel uncomfortable. So that's on Chris at that point. And why he's the older player.
Well, that's why I said management need to tell him, yo, don't throw too many curveballs. Underhand the pitch every now and then. From underhand. Let him hit a home run.
This guy and his analogies. All right, we're going to come back to the NBA. I'm glad you're here, Si, because we're about to talk about Deflategate.
Oh, my God. I'm going to take a break now.
No, absolutely not.
Why?
It's not going to be long. He's not going to have very much to say about this. So for those of you who don't know, our guest is an avid New England Patriot fan. I mean, major fan. And he's not quiet or shy about the fact that he's a New England fan. So we all know that the New England's been going through a situation with these Deflategate and these underinflated footballs. Well, the New England Patriots were fined $1 million. They had to give up a first-round pick, a fourth-round pick, and something else they had to do. There's 3 things that happened to them. Well, the owner was initially, I'm going to fight this, blah, 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 blah. Well, he changed his tune. He sat down with the commissioner last week, and they had a meeting. Robert Kraft ended up having a press conference 2 days later saying that although he doesn't agree with the punishment, he's not going to fight it any further, basically for the betterment of the league. How do you feel about the fact that he's not going to fight it, Si? I'm going to start with that. Because I know that, and personally, we have texts back and forth. I know that you probably are not that happy.
I'm not happy with it, but the guy, him throwing away $1 million is like somebody throwing away $50, $60, $40, $50. So it's not really going to hurt
not
him.
about
so
the money.
I guess he just don't want to be involved in it too much no more. I guess he's just going to let the league handle it or let Tom and his people handle how they're going to handle this Deflategate thing.
Well, here's the bigger question. Did he throw Tom Brady under the bus?
Not at all.
Not at all?
No.
You don't think the fact that he didn't mention Tom Brady once in his press conference and his situation, that essentially he was leaving Tom out there on his own?
Not at all.
No?
No. Because he's not going to fight the players union.
Right, I agree, but he didn't. He's the same guy who came out when this initially happened. Oh, they need to come out and apologize to Tom Brady and my coach. I'm 100% behind Tom Brady. He's never lied to me in the past. Blah. He didn't say one word about Tom Brady in his press conference.
Well, he's talking about his organization right now.
I get
so
it.
Right now he's still thinking beyond Tom after Tom leaves.
Well, he's talking about the league, right? He's worried about the league, not necessarily his organization. He's trying to be one with the league. So if you really want to put all of this to bed, you tell Tom Brady to knock it off. Just take this punishment and move on, right? If you really want to put this, because you were so staunch and strong about the league coming out and apologizing, now all of a sudden you don't even mention his name.
Well, if you say that, then he'll be throwing Tom under the
Why?
bus. He's just gonna let Tom handle it the way he should handle it, the way he think Tom should handle it.
Fair enough.
So I guess he figured he washed his hands on his part, and Tom have to do what he has to do.
So then he shouldn't have said nothing in the very beginning, right? He should have left Tom out of his situation. Is that what we're saying?
No, not at all. He said he believed Tom, and he said he still believes.
No,
Tom.
he didn't say that at all.
He still believes Tom.
How do we know that? He didn't mention it at all. At all.
He still believes Tom. Why? It doesn't make sense for both of them to sit there and fight. Him spending $1 million.
Doesn't make sense for both. They're getting two separate punishments. Why wouldn't it make sense for them to fight individually for what they believe in, right?
Him spending $1 million is like you going to the store and spend $100. You know how much money you keep in your pocket. Bro. You know what I mean? Really. So it's just the same.
Look over your shoulder when you walk out of here, Mo.
We understand it's not about the money. We get it. It's more the principle, right? So I think that's where he was coming from. For him, money means absolutely nothing.
When you're dealing with principle and money, it means nothing to that man.
Okay. All right. So, Rasul, are you okay with the fact that he didn't mention Tom Brady? Do you think he threw Tom Brady under the bus?
Oh, I don't think he threw him under the bus, but I don't think I just think he tried to wash his hands clean of it.
He's trying to get away from that.
Right, he's trying to wash his hands clean. Because it doesn't make any sense. Like, you're looking at it, all these other quarterbacks there are some quarterbacks who can't. Jim Kelly came out recently. Just is like, you absolutely know what's going on with that ball. Like, if you work with these balls, for him, look, Tom said, I don't know this dude. This dude been there 30 years. He said, I don't even know who that is. The dude, one of the equipment managers,
which turned out to be false.
Right, so Tom lying already. Yeah, I gotta wash my hands out of that, Tom. You go handle that. This something else, Tom. You know this dude. Why Tom lie? Why you gonna start lying? You over there smiling, Sal. Why you start lying? Why you start lying?
When you say you know somebody,
oh, here we go.
Yeah, don't try to spin that.
No. When you say you know somebody, do you really know them? It's not like does Tom go out to drink with these guys, or because you shake somebody's hand, I mean you know them.
Let me tell you.
Asking you, because you shake somebody's hand.
Whatever job you worked at for 15 years, and somebody else worked there, the dude that gives you the balls was there all 15 of your years, and you'd be like, "Yeah, I don't know this guy."
Yeah, I know. I seen him around.
Okay, stop. You don't even believe that.
I seen him around.
You losing a lot of credibility on these airways right now.
I seen him around before. I seen dude around before. Me and Cat never went and got a drink, so that means I know.
Oh, so we only friends if we went and got a drink?
Actually, we're not even friends.
Okay, I only know you if we go out and get drinks. That's the only way I know you.
Oh, we have a better rapport.
You don't think he has a rapport with the guy who gives him the ball, the equipment manager?
Dude, I see this.
Everybody on the team got a relationship with the equipment manager.
For 2-3 months. We're not friends. No.
So
you believe that? So you believe Tom?
Listen.
Believe Tom. Listen. Believe whatever Tom say.
I totally believe.
Let's let him off the hook. He's a Patriot fan. No. It's his fandom. That's all it is. He's not being objective.
Okay. Let me take it here. And I'm gonna help you out because you guys go back and forth all the time.
Right.
If this was Troy Aikman and he said the exact same thing in Dallas, what would you? Tony Romo and he said the exact same thing in Dallas, you'd be like, "Oh, I believe Tony."
If the man said it, yeah.
You gonna lie right to my face, right? You gonna lie right to my face,
bro? Because he worked with somebody.
I just asked you a question, so you would believe anything that come out Tony Romo mouth, no matter what it smell like, you gonna believe it.
You see, now you're saying anything. Is it
you would believe that?
I would believe some of the things.
Would you believe if he said everything. Exactly what Tom said, and then we found out that he did know the dude? You still be like, I still believe Tony.
See, when you say know somebody, what do you mean by know somebody?
Well, the exact same thing happened, except it was Romo and his equipment manager. What would you say? You'd be like, I believe Tony?
I had to see the paperwork, bro. That's all.
You don't need no paperwork for Tom, though, right? You don't need no paperwork. Okay, I feel you.
Two things, and we're going to get off of his fandom with the Patriots. But two more things that happened in the NFL this week that I just kind of wanted to mention. Michael Sam, first openly gay player in the NFL to come out, signed in the CFL. This week, a 2-year deal. So we're going to watch and see how that goes. And Ray Rice, who was involved in a whole domestic violence situation with his girlfriend, fiance at the time, now current wife, had his charges dismissed because of his pretrial intervention. So he's no longer on the books for domestic violence charges. Wanted to get those out. That's some notes.
All right, coming up next, more NBA?
Yeah, we're going to go through this, the draft lottery. We're going to talk about the best 10 NBA teams of all time. There's a list that was out there. And I have some which would you rathers for you.
All right, and I want to jump on the Knicks, too.
Okay.
All right, so we'll be back in 3 minutes.
20 minutes after that, we're back to the In Full Disclosure Show. Again, please stay tuned from 12 to 1, fully disclosed. Please check out Mr. Breeze DBL. Also, if you want to talk to my partner, check him out at Rasul Sharif 660 on IG and on Twitter. If you want to talk to Breeze, you can always check him out at Breeze DBL on Twitter and on Instagram. Last but not least, if you want to speak to me, Mo Morris 660. IG and Twitter. Sorry, you gotta get some of this social media stuff, man. Come on, man. It's more than Facebook out there.
No, I'm not even on Facebook. I mind my business.
I hear you.
I'm mind my business.
Yeah, I stay in my lane.
I hear you.
If you ain't got my number, I don't need to know. I feel you.
I didn't do it.
All right, so every now and again, for those of you who watch the show, we have this segment we call Which Would You Rather? Generally, I have 5 questions for Rasul. I usually ask him, but today I only have 3, so it's going to be a sort of an abbreviated version. One of them I can't wait to get to because I can't wait to hear what his answer is going to be. So the first one, the way Which Would You Rather works is that I come up with a couple of different scenarios and I find out which one would you rather be, have, or do, essentially is how it works. So the first question, NBA, what is the better job to have? In light of the Chicago Bulls essentially about to get rid of their coach, the better job to have if you were a coach coming in now, and we're going to say the Chicago job is open, even though it's not technically, would you rather have the Chicago Bulls job or would you rather have the New Orleans Pelicans job, which is open today? New Orleans has probably the best up-and-coming player right now, the youngest guy who's going to be taking the league over in a minute. But Chicago Bulls probably has more of a win-now team. So if you were a head coach, which job would you want?
Wow. I'll probably take the Bulls job.
You would take the Bulls job.
Yeah, because the East is easier for me to have success. So it's not about the personnel.
No?
If New Orleans was in the East, I'd take New Orleans because I think I got the future on my team. But the West is so difficult. So, I mean, I don't know if New Orleans isn't in the playoffs if Durant was healthy. So, yeah, and now I think that they're growing, but you got a lot of players, again, we talked about this last week, you got a lot of players who are often injured on that team. So, I don't know. And it's the same thing with the Bulls. So,
So
but the Bulls is much injuries as they had this year.
Still have more talent.
Still was in the, and they got talent, and they still were in the playoffs. They're in the second round. For me as a coach, I need success. So you see what happened with Monty Williams, where he got to the playoffs 2 of 5 years there. But now, for some reason, the people at B think that New Orleans should be better than what they're producing, and they're totally ignoring all the injuries and everything. So even with injuries, I still have a chance to have success in the East, which I don't have in the West.
even though you have a top 5 player in your opinion on your team.
Yeah,
and he probably in 2 years would be a top 2 or 3 player.
Yeah, but he still needs something to be, you know, if I'm getting to the, if I just took Thibodeau's resume and you didn't know anything else about it, there's no reason why he should be getting fired.
We agree. That's all upper.
Right.
That's
Right.
personality situation.
So if I get along with, assuming that I get along with both managements, give me the East because I'm gonna have more success.
Sahid,
I'm going with the Bulls as well. The Bulls they're not an old team. They're not too young, but they're not an old team.
They
I think
are.
they have more talent. They have a lot more talent.
and I made a statement about Anthony Davis potentially being top 2 or 3 best player in the game in a couple of years from now. You kind of groaned about that.
Top 2, 3, no.
No? Is he a top 5 player today?
No.
Oh yeah,
I said the same thing. I don't necessarily say I'm going to
yeah.
put him in my top 5, but
he's absolutely. Who's the top 5? Who's the top 5?
Stop. I'm not going to. I just can't name out, but just top 5, no. Is he a top 10 dude? Yeah.
Think about it, because we'll get you the top 5 for you.
What?
We're not gonna put it. Listen, I didn't necessarily agree with you a couple weeks ago when we had this discussion, but that's fine. So you guys will both take the Bulls job. You know, I asked this question. I didn't even think about it for myself. Shame on me. I'm probably taking the Bulls job as well, just because they just have more talent. I don't really care if it was the East or West. The only thing is that I do believe in, outside of you, I do believe that this guy will be a top 2 or 3 talent in 2 years from now. So I probably would want to coach him and see where that's going to take us. And the West is going to get worse. So those teams are going to get worse, the good teams. So they're going to rise. And some of those good teams are going to fall. So I would only take the Bulls because they're ready to win today, and I don't know if I'm gonna get 5 years to prove myself. I might only get 3.
I'm sick over here.
Why?
I've been waiting for this top 5, but go ahead.
Okay,
What's
cool.
your next question?
Okay. Question number 2. The NBA draft lottery was this week, so we found out who how the draft lottery is going to go and how the teams are going to pick. If you were a player today, getting ready to be drafted in this draft lottery, would you want to be picked number 1 or number 2? Minnesota got the number 1 pick and the Los Angeles Lakers got the number 2 pick. If you were a player and you're being looked at, and there's a couple of guys, maybe 3 guys that are looked at as being the potential number 1 pick, would you want to go to as a number 1 player and have the fame of saying, hey, I was the number 1 pick in the NBA draft, but I got to go to Minnesota? Or would you rather be the number 2 pick and go to the Los Angeles Lakers?
I'm going to Minnesota.
I'm going to Minnesota.
Okay.
First off, there's not a scenario in the world I want to play with Kobe Bryant. And I know he's only playing 1 more year, but there's not a scenario in the world that I want to play with that dude. But Minnesota, man, if Towns goes to Minnesota will be okay. I'm not acting like they're going to be something great, but I think Wiggins is going to be a great player. I would absolutely go to Minnesota. I think that they're going to be better faster. I think they're going to be better than the Lakers next year. You think the Lakers just going to be better than them next year?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't thought about it. I'll think about it and let you know.
Yeah, I think
I
think Minnesota will be better than the Lakers.
I think since he's been to California, L.A., this cat think he's going to say L.A.
What do you think? Minnesota as well?
Yeah, I'm going to Minnesota.
Why?
If they're going to say I'm the best player, yeah, I'm number 1.
So that would mean something to you?
Oh, that would definitely mean something to me. That somebody really took the time and did and studied me and thought that I was worthy enough to be number 1 out of how many players being drafted or looked at. Yeah, it's a big.
But we know that that's not an exact science. So the fact that somebody said it doesn't mean anything. I mean, we can go to Kwame Brown.
It's a compliment.
We can go, but who cares?
But
I care.
If LA and Minnesota were reversed, so LA had the first pick.
It's not even a conversation. It's LA.
But if LA and Minnesota were reversed, I'm just telling you how strong I am in my stance. If Minnesota was picking 2, I wouldn't mind going to Minnesota.
No. Which one do you want to go to though?
Minnesota.
Now, you still want to go to Minnesota?
Yes.
We got to do some drug testing around here. So let's be very clear about something, okay? Let's be very clear. And you're going to hate what I'm about to say to you. But it does matter where you play. Geographics matter. And you can sit there and think that these guys can play anywhere and get the same. It's not true, right? It's just not a true thing. You absolutely want to go to the Los Angeles Lakers and be the 2nd pick. The fact that you say that you wouldn't want to play with Kobe Bryant under any circumstance is crazy.
Why?
Because there's so much you can learn from Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
There's so much that you can learn from Kobe Bryant. Even if it's just studying his work habits, his work ethic every day. There's so much you can learn. There's no possible way that I would want to say I don't want to go. And knowing he only has 1 year on top of that, I absolutely want to go to LA. Now I got all the glitz and glamour. I got Magic Johnson at my disposal. I got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at my disposal. I got all of these all-time greats. But I'm going to go to Minnesota and play out there in that cold weather. You got to be kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
You got to be kidding.
I'm absolutely not kidding. I'm absolutely going to Minnesota. You're not asking me where I'd rather live, obviously.
But it matters. All of that factors in.
Send me Minnesota.
I'm the number 1 pick. I'm going to Minnesota.
And for you, your statement, it doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day, yeah, it's going to cost me this much more money. I'm going to lose this much because I'm going to be slotted a little bit lower than the number 1 pick. But I'm thinking I'm going to make that money back up in endorsements in LA. I'm the number 1. I'm the number 2 pick out in LA. Absolutely going to Los Angeles. You got to be kidding.
Yeah, you so overrate that endorsement thing.
No, I absolutely
you
don't.
You so overrate that.
And who says you're going to get endorsements?
Well, I'm going to assume that I'm going to be a great player.
Now we assume.
Well, I'm going to assume I'm going to be a great player whether I go to LA or whether I go to Minnesota. So
we're talking about endorsements.
Right, but that's how you get your endorsements based upon how good you are. So to me, I'm thinking whether I go to Minnesota or whether I go to LA, I'm going to be good. So the endorsements are going to come to me tenfold in LA. And don't tell me.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference between me and you, though. And I see it's a lot of differences, but I see that this is one of the clear differences. All right, let's just say
I'm wiser.
And they
but
did. Well, I mean, because you're older.
Exactly.
All right, so let's just say Oklahoma City would have beat Miami. in the finals when they went to the finals.
Okay.
Durant and Harden and Westbrook, they made that legacy there. Them dudes will be immortal down there. You know what I gotta do to get a statue outside of LA? Be Kobe? Let me go win one chip in Minnesota. I'm standing, and I'm the guy. I'm the guy in Minnesota. I'm cool with Dominique being outside of Atlanta. Well, Dominique had that career in LA. Would he have a statue out there?
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, let me go build something that nobody else has ever done, and I'd be that guy. I absolutely take that before I gotta go into something I gotta win 10 out here to be remembered.
Okay, let me go win 10.
Remembered.
That's not true.
This dude's out there with 2. Who got 2 for LA that you just like, oh God, he's that guy.
Shaq got 3. He's remembered there.
Stop.
Okay, we need to turn his mic off because this is about to go way the wrong way. If we don't believe, he doesn't believe that Shaq is remembered in LA.
If I get one in Minnesota, do I own this? Do I own this state?
Who cares? It's Minnesota.
Who cares?
It's Minnesota. Nobody cares.
I want to own something. The chances of you ever eclipsing Magic.
Who is nobody? This guy always saying who cares, and I'm noticing you speaking for a whole state.
And you want to be the second guy outside your statue outside, but where's it going to be? Behind Magic's?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, if I'm not good enough to get ahead of Magic, then yes.
What scenario would your statue be ahead of Magic?
Kobe Bryant's going to be sitting right there next to Magic.
No. Right? He's ahead of Magic. Let's not sit next to
He's going to be sitting right there next to Magic.
He's not ahead of Magic.
He's going to be sitting right there next to Magic.
He's ahead of Magic. He's the best Laker ever.
Let me tell you something right now. Let me just break this down to you real simply. And you looking to fill time, so I got you.
No, we good with time. We got more than enough stuff now.
Kobe got 5, Magic got 5, right? Right?
Yeah.
Kobe was the best on how many of his 5? 2? Okay, enough said.
Kobe's the best Laker ever.
Who was the best on his 5? Magic was probably the best on all 5 of his 5. At least 4 of his 5. Kobe was the best on 2 of his 5.
Let's move on. We can get that offline, that conversation.
And he's incorrect.
That's why I said to you before, let's just shut his mic off. Because
he's incorrect on that.
All right. So we disagree again.
As usual.
Yeah, and that's fine. But I'm absolutely looking to go. I'm trying to do everything I can to be the number 2 pick. I'm going to Minnesota like, I'm not trying to play over here. Don't draft me. I'm in that mode. Same thing Kobe Bryant did years ago when instead of trying to come to the Nets, he pushed his way to LA. But that's another conversation because that happened. All right. Last question.
Some high school guy pushed his way to LA.
Oh, that absolutely happened. You need to check the facts. That absolutely happened. Last question. This is the one that I can't wait to hear. So, Rasul, a few weeks back, maybe a couple of months back, you went on another show. And there was a question that was
guest appearances.
You did a guest appearance.
Yes. There you go. All right.
You did a guest appearance on another internet radio show. And there was a question asked of you of your top 5 players or your starting team, I guess, in the NBA. And I forgot how the question was worded. Your top 5 players at every position.
Do you remember him?
No, yours?
Yeah.
No, but I remember one particular spot.
Okay.
Because it was you and 4 people, I think, that were on that radio show. I think there were 4 you guys on that show.
4 right together. Yeah.
And not one person picked this guy to be their starting 2 guard as the best player in the game. And I was confused then when this came out because you picked Klay Thompson and no one picked James Harden. Right. I'm asking you today, which would you rather, James Harden or Klay Thompson? Oh my God, this is even a conversation.
Really, bro?
Well, I'm about to listen. It's a hard question.
It's not hard.
It is a hard question to answer. It's a hard question to answer based on. I'm gonna pick a player based on what the rest of my team is. Right. So, and am I just taking the regular season or am I taking the playoffs too? If I took this year's regular season, that's when we weren't in the playoffs when I was on the show.
Right. Who's the better player?
Okay, I think James Harden's the better offensive player. I never debated that.
Only offensive?
He's not a better defender than him.
We agree he's not a better defender. I agree with you.
He's a better offensive player. So for me, right? I'm just saying he's obviously a better offensive player. The question is, does Klay give me enough offense, and is he a good enough defensive player to be close to make them closer as total players? Not just clearly, James Harden's a better offensive player than him. That's not even a conversation.
He's the better
Rebound.
player.
Clay's a way better defensive player than him.
Yeah, but Clay-
So I just gotta weigh that out. That's all
Yeah,
I'm saying.
but
So
James Harden's a better rebounder than him. He's a better
more
assist
assists.
guy than him.
He gives
He's
you a
a
lot
better
more.
player.
He gives you a lot more than what Clay does.
This is all I'm saying. This is what I said before, and I'll probably take Harden. But here's what I said before, what I have to see. Let me go have every shot I want, and let me see how close I get to having the numbers. Because Steph's the guy who's getting every shot he wants. Let me go over and get every single shot I want whenever I want it, and let me see what numbers he puts up. That's all I said.
That's the problem.
I don't know if he can. He can't.
He doesn't have the skill set to
Okay,
do it.
Then look, you know something I don't know. I don't know if
You don't see the flashes that he doesn't have the skill set.
I don't know if I'm drawing up plays for this dude every single time.
No,
Here's what
we're
I'm
not saying every single time. That's not what I'm saying.
I'm just saying he's not gonna. Can he get it the same way James Harden gets it? No. But could he get it? Could he get it like Ray Allen got it? I mean,
No.
could he get it? And I'm not
No.
calling him the same shooter that Ray Allen is. But Ray Allen was, even in his prime, he wasn't just facing you up, just taking you to the basket every time.
We agree.
Right, so I'm just saying, if I'm center him and draw him, and everything he's running off elbow screen, double pick downs, and double screen downs, 18-foot jump shots, and he can go out here and shoot whatever he wants to shoot and shoot 43% from the floor, could I get 25 out the guy?
He's more Reggie Miller than anybody else.
Then that's fine. I just said for you, it's that clear for you. It's not that clear for me. If I just ran some plays for this dude every single solitary time, could I get 25? Because James Harden was getting every single solitary shot he wanted every single time. Clay doesn't get that, so I don't know.
Clay
That's
don't
all I
put
said.
the
I don't
ball
know.
on the floor like he does
That's
either.
fine. I get it. I'm not saying that you're gonna score the same way. So
Clay-
if I use Shaq and Ewing, Shaq wasn't never gonna shoot a jump shot, but Shaq was gonna get more points than Ewing every time. So they ain't gotta score the same way.
Clay, and I've said this before, and I don't mean to cut you off. So you obviously are going to go with, who did you say you're going to go with?
I probably would take Harden, but I don't think it's as far apart as most people think.
I think it is. You taking Harden, I'm
I'm
taking
And it
going
Harden.
depends as a
not even
one,
close.
as
Not
a
even-
one-on-one player. Like for me to have a, because I don't think that Harden gets 27 a game playing on Golden State.
I absolutely think he does.
I don't think he does.
Yeah, he does.
I don't think he does because he plays a one-on-one style which nobody else plays, so he couldn't even play in the offense because he would stop the whole flow with a Golden State offense.
He was balling in Oklahoma
We could pick. Okay, he got 18 a game. All right,
off the bench.
Oh, that's fine. He got 18 a game off the bench. That's
5 assists off the bench.
Okay.
Stop it.
yeah. We'll finish talking about this after the break.
Stop it.
Nah, we don't need to go back to that. 41 minutes after hour, back to the In Full Disclosure show. Again, immediately following our show today at 12 o'clock, Mr. Breeze DBL fully disclosed. Please stay tuned as you guys hear. Karen Wheeler was the lead singer on that group.
Soul to soul.
Soul to Soul, with a little Rakim beat in the background. What's up?
I know the song, but I don't know nobody's name. I don't know.
I just remember her name for whatever
okay.
the reason. I don't know why, but I do remember her name. Great group though. Soul to Soul.
And I a little disclaimer, this is a perfect segue because we are in the midst of doing our new 2016 drop.
Oh God. Yeah, I heard a little bit about this.
And this is a platform right here, what we're talking about, that's leading into several of the snippets that we're going to have in there.
Oh God.
I don't know.
Turn my mic off. Turn my mic off. Turn it off.
Real quick, the NBA draft lottery was this week. Top 5 teams. The lottery went to Minnesota Timberwolves got the number 1 pick. The Los Angeles Lakers got the 2nd pick. Philadelphia 76ers ended up 3. The New York Knicks ended up 4, even though they had the 2nd worst record in the league. And last but not least, Orlando Magic 5. So on the agenda sheet that I gave out today, I put my top 4 players. How I think the draft is going to go. So I'll just read them through really quickly. I think Minnesota is going to take Karl Towns from Kentucky. The Lakers, I think, can go in 2 different directions. I think they're either going to take Okafor, who's the other big man from Duke, or they're going to take this kid Emmanuel Mudiay, the point guard who was supposed to go to SMU and play for Larry Brown, but went overseas and played in China. So I think they may take this kid Emmanuel Mudiay. Number 3, I have D'Angelo Russell penned in to go to Philadelphia. I think he's a perfect match for that team. He's at Ohio State. He's a freshman. Had a really, really good year. I think he averaged like 18 or 19 a game over at Ohio State, and he seems to be NBA ready at this point. Number 4, I have the Knicks taking what's left over between what the Lakers do between Jahlil Okafor and Emmanuel Mudiay. And number 5, I put question marks for Orlando. They're probably going to take one of these foreign players that is out there. And there's one guy who's 6'8", and I can't think of his name right now, who supposedly really, really can shoot. And supposedly he's really good. So I think they're going to probably go with the international player at 5. Do you think the Lakers will not go with one of the big guys since they just got a big guy last year from Kentucky? The lefty, I can't think of his name right now at the top of my head, but
Randall.
Julius Randle, who ended up getting hurt this season after his first game. Was it the first game he got hurt?
Early.
Yeah. So do you think they're going to go with the big guy?
Yeah, I think.
You still think they will?
Yeah, I mean, because he's a 4. So if you got Okafor, you got a 5.
Is Okafor a 5?
Yeah.
I think Okafor is a 4.
No.
Okafor is a 4.
I think he's a power forward. I don't think he's a 5.
I think he wound up being a 5.
Really?
Yeah, he's definitely too slow to be a 4.
And I don't think he's physical enough to be a 5.
I think you can get more physical. I don't know how much faster you could get. You know what I mean? I think you get stronger. I don't know if you could get quicker or much quicker to be able. He can't deal with any stretch 4.
But he can't deal with anybody that has any power. He's not going to get a shot off down there against these centers. DeAndre Jordan going to be batting it out of here.
I
see him
I
as
think
a
they
4.
take
I
him.
can see him as a so Randall's a 4.
Randall's a 4, yeah. And that's why I'm saying
And he's a small 4 too.
he's a small 4.
But
But if you believe in Julius Randle, why not take the point guard? Even if you take D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, first off, I'm taking Russell before Moutier.
Well, okay, and that's fine. But I didn't say Russell only because I think that Kobe Bryant's still sitting there and you want the kid to play immediately. He's not going to play immediately with Kobe Bryant there.
Why wouldn't he play the 1?
I don't think he's a point guard. I think he's a 2 guard. In my opinion, I think he's going to translate to a 2. If you believe he's a point, then fine. If you believe that he can translate into a 1 in the NBA, then fine. I get it, but
Right, but are you drafting for Kobe still, or are you drafting for the future?
right. But I want the kid to play immediately.
I think he can play. Or you got it. Kobe's
not coming off the best stop. See,
No. I'm not saying
he's
that, but
saying
I
that
think Kobe. I think Kobe gonna have to play some 3 too this year.
play some 3.
I think he's gonna have to play some 3. They're gonna have to play
Why?
some 3-guard offense stuff. I think he's gonna have to play a little out of position. He's not just gonna be a 2 like that, just
Why?
a dead 2. I just don't think he's gonna be. First off, what 2 is he gonna stay with?
Oh, he's savvy enough to be fine. He's savvy enough to be fine against these 2s for one season. He's savvy enough.
Nah, dude. I think that you're gonna be able. I think that a 2-guard gonna be able to get some run in LA. He's gonna be able to get some run in LA. I'm not saying that he's starting over Kobe. I'm not trying to suggest that, but he's gonna get some run in LA.
I haven't seen the kid Moutier a lot, but from what I've seen of him, he has something special about him that I kind of see.
And he averaged 18 over there at the same league that Marbury played in.
Right. It's something about him that I like. And I'm going to be honest with you. I hope that he goes to the Lakers because I want to see him come to New York City. I want to see him in New York City starting point guard on that roster. That's what I want to see. I absolutely see something magical about this kid. I just see it. I see something magical about it.
It was a funny thing too about him. They said Moutier, he didn't play any college ball, so we don't really know what he has. I'm going, he's playing against pros in China. I gotta think the China league's gotta be as good as college.
Right.
It's gotta be at least as good as college. So
A lot better, actually.
Right.
I'm talking
I'm
about
thinking it's a ton
guys-
better.
Right.
They
Guys
pros.
are real physical.
Right.
They're playing for contracts every year.
Right.
So-
right. So I mean, I just thought that was a dumb statement, or I'm not gonna say anybody's dumb, but just a strange statement. So, yeah, I like D'Angelo Russell a lot.
Do you?
I do. I like.
I think
him a
he's
lot.
NBA ready.
Let me tell you
but
who I like though. Justice Winslow.
is he going to go that high, though?
He'd be in the top 6.
Right, but is he going to go in these top 4?
Who knows?
If you're the Los Angeles Lakers, do you have the nerve to take him? And I like Winslow too, but do you have the nerve to take him? If you're the Philadelphia 76ers at 3, or even the Knicks at 4,
He won't push the envelope. Trust me.
which one of these 4 guys are the Knicks not going to take this kid?
Would he go in Orlando at 5?
Probably not, because you got the other kid that's there already. Oladipo.
Yeah.
Well, he's a 2 or 3. I
He's
mean,
a
he's a
two.
1 or
He's a
2.
two.
He's a 2.
He was
He's a
playing
2.
1 and 2.
Yeah,
Winslow
but they-
gonna come in and play a 2,
A
3.
three?
Probably a 3. He's 6'6". He'd probably be a 3.
He's got a little body on him.
They say outstanding defender. He's
I
got
think
an
they
underrated
gonna-
offensive game.
I think they're going to go with one of the foreign kids, Orlando.
Who's 6? Who picked 6? I don't have a list.
I didn't put down for who's going to pick 6, but I like the kid too.
Yeah,
I
so-
think there's some potential there. So it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out. The Knicks, I do want to see Emmanuel Mudiay there. I'm hoping that happens because I would want to see him every night because I think I'm going to be a big fan of his. And I hate the Knicks, but I'm going to want to watch that kid play, I think, pretty much every night. Here's where it could get ugly, though. If D'Angelo Russell goes second to the Lakers, if you're the Philadelphia 76ers, do you take another big guy? Because now you're going to have a big guy sitting there waiting for you, either Okafor or Karl Towns. You just took big guys the last 2 years.
Towns is gone. So Towns is in Minnesota.
He's number one. Okay, fine. So do you take Okafor, and you just took Nerlens Noel, and then you took the big kid from Kansas last year who didn't play, right? Do you take another big?
Well, does Philly finally decide that they want to actually try to win a game or two and trade the pick for something?
Trade the pick? I mean, at some point they got to do that, right? They need to start trying to win some games at this point, right?
Right, because what's the point if you stockpile and all that? So
that's a good option.
And if you got Okafor at 3 waiting, you probably get a lot for him because a lot of people are high on him.
Yeah.
And I'm not that high on him.
I got worse. I got lower and lower on him as the season went on.
Yeah, I'm not that high on him.
I think he's okay.
Yeah. All right, so we'll see how that goes. That's June 26th, I think the draft date is. So we'll see how that goes. Real quick, I saw this other site that had the top 10 teams of all time. 538.com is the site, right, that I just found. So real quick, the listing of top 10 teams in the NBA they had of all time. And I'm just going to read them really quickly. The 95-96 Bulls, the 96-97 Bulls, then the 85-86 Celtics. This year's Warriors, which surprised me that they were that high. The 08-09 Lakers, which was Shaq and Kobe. 91.
No. That was 08-09 Kobe.
Was that Shaq and Kobe?
No. That was Gasol.
Ill. So I already got issues with that.
Remember, Shaq won in 06 in Miami.
Was it? Dang, time is
06,
moving.
07.
Time is moving.
Yeah.
Then you got the 91-92 Bulls, the 97-98 Bulls, the 90-91 Bulls. Then you go to the 88-89 Pistons.
Pistons.
Then you go to the 80. Yeah.
Where the 87 Laker team?
It's not on here.
Really?
Then you go to the 82-83 Philadelphia 76ers with Moses Malone and Andrew Toney and Doc, yes.
Right.
Then you get the 2012-2013 Heat.
All time?
All time.
Yeah,
and then you
sad,
finally get to a Spurs team. And I put this down. You
I'm
finally
real
get to a Spurs
disgusted
team,
by
the 13-14, which is the year they just won a championship last year.
No,
So the
zero
list is
credibility on that.
Zero?
There was a Laker team that won 67 games. That's not on there. You don't have any Laker team on there?
Yeah. The
Which one?
08-09 Lakers.
No. First off,
None of those 80s Lakers with James Worthy, none of those teams.
And we had a San Antonio team that won 60-some games.
The 01 Lakers was better than that 08 Laker team. That's the one they went 15-1 when they lost to Iverson. They lost the one game to Iverson,
yes.
and they ran the table. That team was better than the 08 Laker team.
I'm stunned. I didn't even hit me that.
I'm just missing that list.
Completely?
All together. I'm just missing. First off, listen, as big of a Golden State fan as I am, they didn't win it yet. How are they in there already?
Yeah, they got him at number 4.
They didn't even win it yet.
They got this team at number 4.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys, over there. That's
okay.
A little less.
All right, so I figured I put it out there. I saw it, and I put it out there. All right, so today,
So I'm about to say, so next week they should be having a Curry statue outside Golden State.
I tell you what, if they win an NBA championship, he solidifies the statue.
They're not even a statue now, but listen, dude wins the chip. We're going to be talking about him as an all-time player.
I ain't got a problem with that.
Yeah.
I definitely don't have a problem with that.
Now, if he was just to his point, he win one chip in L.A., he got magic over here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
We got magic over here. Steph had a great career. We got magic over here, though. We ain't even in a conversation.
Okay.
But give me my statue. It's like
something that you built.
It's like the United Nations, right? Everybody want to be United States in the big seat, but give me a little Uruguay. I got my own country. I still got a chair at the table. I'm getting the Danishes. Might not get them first, but I'm getting them.
Now, actually, you might. We both could put our hand in the box together and pick up a Danish.
I get to get in that room. I want to be in the room. I want to be in that room.
And this is coming from a guy that's all glitz and glamour.
So today, Game 3 of the Eastern
really?
Conference
Just
Finals.
moving right along? Okay.
Would you say pros pro?
Pro for real.
Today, the Eastern Conference Game 3 is going to happen. Cleveland is going into – actually, Cleveland's going home. I forgot Atlanta had the number 1 pick overall in the East. Cleveland's going home. They're looking to put a stranglehold on this series. No Kyle Korver is out for the rest of the playoffs. Twisted his ankle and may need to have surgery. So he's done for the playoffs. Cleveland's up 2-0. Atlanta's done.
None.
They don't get one game.
None.
No, they get one.
None.
They get one.
If they're gonna get one, they gotta get today.
They get one.
I actually
They
think they'll
gotta
get,
win today.
I think if they don't get one, they get it. They get it the next game.
You think that Cleveland just gets lazy?
But
If
I'm
they get
thinking,
one.
right? Because I'm thinking that if I'm in that locker room, we're about to get 9 days off if we do this. Maybe hurt every
Kyrie.
other week. Kyrie get better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they should let Kyrie play today.
He shouldn't play today. I'm
If
with
I'm
you.
up,
But
yeah,
they
I'm
say
up.
he
yeah.
fitted for a brace though, and he practiced yesterday, so there's a very good chance he's gonna play.
I won't let him play.
I
I'm
wouldn't
up,
let him play
I'm
either.
up 2 games. Relax a little bit, Hill, and let's see.
Because if you get out of here with this sweep, Kyrie gonna have about 2 weeks off.
Right. Because it's not starting this Thursday; it'll be the following Thursday.
And
Right.
he's gonna need all of his legs to deal with Steph Curry. All of them.
We got plenty of time to get into
Okay.
that. We
Quick
got
question.
plenty of time to get into
Okay.
that.
Just one quick question: is Kevin Love out of there if they win the chip?
Listen, it's right there on the paper. We're gonna get to the he perfect segue. Pros pro right here.
Without even knowing.
He's got to go
If they get to the
both
tip,
the ways.
Both ways. Got to get out.
There's zero reason for Cleveland to bring him back. You still got Anderson Varejao coming back. This boy Tristan Thompson that made himself a ton of money. I mean, this might be the
doubt.
best offensive rebound I've ever seen. And I'm not even like playing. I don't think I've ever seen anybody offensive rebound like this. Dude.
Yeah, I don't think he's robbing yet, but I feel you. He's up there.
Dude.
He's up there. He's up there.
Oh, my
He's up
goodness.
there. He's up
He a
there.
monster.
He's up there.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
It's unreal. Kevin Love has to be home in the locker room wherever
Sick to
he's
his
watching.
stomach. Yeah, he's 6.
But he might not be though. He might not be sick, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because he saw it all season. They don't need him
Yeah.
now.
Here-
To
here's the-
Rasul's point, go ahead.
Well, here's the disappointing part about this, right? Because the excuse was, or the theory was, you couldn't let Kevin Love play in the post because you needed room for Kyrie and LeBron to do work, so we had to put him out on the perimeter. But Tristan Thompson playing the post, so you figured out a way to let your 4 play down low. When Kevin Love was there, you couldn't figure out that way. Just offensively, Tristan Thompson's 30 times better than him defensively, so we get
Right.
that.
No,
but just
we-
offensively, you couldn't really figure out how to incorporate him in the offense and let him be playing the post area or in anywhere near the box. You had to put him camp him out on the 3-point line. Now you got Tristan who can't shoot a jump shot, who you got on the block, and these other players have adapted their game. So that's just a weird thing.
But you know what, for me though, the reason I think that they did that, and they may have said it that way, but I think they did that because Kevin Love can't score in the block. So to
he
get
can
any
score in the block.
effectiveness out of him, you need him out there shooting a jump shot.
No, he can score on the block.
Again,
Yeah, I think he can
Kevin
score on
Love
the
can't
block.
score
I
on the
think he's going to block more than
He
you give
can
him
score on
credit
the
for.
block.
Yeah, I
Kevin
think
Love
he-
would be a
He
great
might be
fit in San Antonio.
He might be a worse block player than LeBron James is, and you know how I feel about LeBron playing in the post, right? And he's getting better, but he might be a worse block player than LeBron.
I wouldn't go that far.
Listen.
But again, you've got your thing with Kevin Love.
Well,
so.
I see what I see, and if I'm Cleveland, there's no way I offer him a contract. I don't even offer him a contract because there's zero reason for me to pay that guy any real money. Zero reason.
Outside of that, I feel you. I probably wouldn't either, right? Because especially we making the finals. Now I gotta say that you factor in all the breaks that you got getting there too.
Right,
You
they
gotta
absolutely
factor that
did.
in,
Yes, they
right?
absolutely got breaks.
But if I'm Cleveland, I probably don't bring him back either. Because with that money, who else could I get to help bolster? Because at some point, Mike Miller and James Jones, them dudes got to be gone.
They should be gone after this
Yeah,
year.
they actually
They
have
both
to.
need to retire.
Yeah, they have to.
They gotta be gone.
And I know that those are LeBron's boys, and you know, he
Right.
carries them with him because you see Damon Jones sitting in the background over there.
On the
By the way, he
private
got a
jet.
big belly too. By the way, so you noticed that, right? But anyway, those are his guys, so I get it. But they got to go because they just taking roster spots at this particular point.
Right.
But Kevin Love has to be sitting there thinking, all right, I'm on my way. And again, now you back to L.A. What if Kevin Love is saying, yeah, I'm coming here? again, now you got to go take one of these guards, right? So that's another factor that we didn't think about when we were just talking about the NBA draft. But if Kevin Love is saying, hey, I want to come home.
Let me touch on LeBron, too, real
Yes.
quick, because I'm glad you're talking about this. I'm kind of disappointed that LeBron's going to make the finals.
Why?
Only because I don't think that they're going to win it.
You don't think so?
I don't think they beat Golden State.
I do.
I believe they be going.
I don't think they
I
win.
do.
I don't think they beat Golden. But you know everybody beats Golden State, so
No, I don't. I just think the Clippers would beat Golden State.
I don't think they beat Golden State. And if LeBron loses again, and this is the weird dynamic, I want this, and I wrote it down, but I didn't bring it. It's almost better the way the public talks. Not for me, but the way the public talks. You know, people like, oh, LeBron's 2-3 in the finals. It's almost better not. What if he didn't make the finals the 3 times he lost? Then he'd be 2-0, and people would be like, hey, he's 2-0 in the finals. I think it's better. Obviously, I think you did better if you made the finals.
Right.
But so many people judge you on your finals record. So if he lost this finals, he'd be 2-4. Dudes would be killing him.
Yeah, but it's the
regardless.
whole Peyton Manning thing, right? It's what he does in the playoffs. It matters, right? So if he goes 2-4, he goes 2-4. You got to eat that.
Right,
That-
but it'd be a different. Right. So, but would it be? First off, LeBron lost last year. It wasn't his fault.
Doesn't
So
matter,
we
he
understand
lost.
that. We don't bring the Peyton Manning thing up because I'll directly be telling you why they lost.
Well,
Peyton Manning choked.
But
That's
I
what
disagree.
so don't say that.
I disagree
Yeah.
with you on that.
Don't
No,
say
Peyton
that. That's all I'm
definitely
saying.
choked.
Peyton
LeBron
choked.
did not
but,
choke.
But he did choke. He choked in the Dallas. He choked in the Dallas series. We saw it.
In 11, he got to
So
eat
let's not
that.
say he didn't choke.
No. In 11, he got to eat that.
Okay.
He got to eat that from last year. In 07, they shouldn't have won at all. I don't know how they were in the finals, so I'm not putting those two on him. In 11, he got to wear that one. In 11, I feel you. He got to wear that. In my mind, he got to wear that one.
Listen, it's not a knock against him to say that he lost 4, but you gotta say it though.
Exactly. So which would you rather? Would you
I'd
rather
rather
make the
go.
finals and lose
I absolutely
it,
would always wanna
or
go.
not make
Nah,
the finals
I'd
and
rather
not
go.
be?
Who was the guy who
I
went?
would too.
Was it Pistol Pete who went 8 times, or was it Jerry West?
Jerry
One-
West.
Yeah, went 8 times, only won 1.
Right.
Right, but nobody's knocking him for that. I mean, they talk about it; it has to be mentioned.
Right, but people are
But
not,
he's the logo.
Right, but people are knocking LeBron more than they would be knocking Jerry West.
That's just because of social media now. I just think that's all that is.
Well, I
It's
think a lot of
different
people
era.
think that Jerry West was losing to the great Celtic team, so they gave the teams that it's okay. If you lose to a team that's better than you, I can take that. If you lose to a team that's worse than you, that's when I got a
Well,
problem.
no, look at the talent LeBron has around him too.
Now,
Is which team's better? Golden State, and we handicapping early. Golden State or Cleveland? Which team's better?
Golden State.
Like, it's just no conversation
No.
to you?
It's a reason why they won 67 games.
Yeah, I don't really care about that so
Okay.
much.
Listen,
So
they
much.
best offensive team, best defensive team. I don't know what else to say.
Agreed. But
Well, what other stat? I know I got LeBron.
he's the best player in the world.
Okay, and what I got the third best player in the world on my team. And then when we start going down,
Third best player in the world? Wow.
whoa, what we got? Is he top 5 player in the world? Is Steph a
Yeah.
top 5 player?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so I got a top 5 player in the world on my team.
He had
My
a-
supporting
And for him
staff
to even
is better.
sit and think about it, yeah.
He had. Let's see.
This year, is he a top
Okay.
5 player?
Yes.
Oh, that's all I'm talking
Yes.
about this year.
Okay.
This year is he
All
a
right.
top 5 player. Yes.
I had to put that
Okay,
caveat
not
out
a
there.
problem.
Yes, he
Not a
absolutely
problem.
is. Yes.
Not a problem.
Yes.
So yeah, give me Golden State. All right, Breeze DBL is up. We have tapped into his time by a minute and some change, but he was in the bathroom relieving himself. Did you get the
TMI.
tissue from under the
It's on my
toilet?
shoe.
Okay, good. All right. The flushable wipes. All right. All right. Thanks to Saeed for coming in today, talking his
Thank you
nonsense.
guys for having me.
Yes.
If you guys
Sorry,
want to
anytime.
tune in to overtime on, no, just kidding. You can't tune in to listen to this conversation that's going to happen because you were talking reckless, real reckless.
Now, I'm just telling the truth, bro. People like to hear the truth. That's what I give them.
Yeah, you got to laugh. Fully Disclosed is up right now. What's the genre today? What are we doing? When can I get my rock and roll?
I'm working on that,
You know,
man.
I asked for something. It take years.
I ain't heard none in
No,
weeks.
no. Well,
I ain't heard none in weeks, and I've been bringing it up. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't blame him for not playing any J. I don't blame him.
Well, it's
Me
not.
neither.
It's not that. It's that, and the listeners know what the deal is. Well, the viewers, because see, you don't have your headphones on, so you have no idea what I'm playing underneath or at the break, unless you listen back.
I wanted rock and roll for the 12 to
Oh,
1 hour.
oh.
Yeah. As soon as most start crying, you whip out the titty and then he 40 something. Give him a bottle. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Breeze CBL is up right now.
You shout out, son. Really.
I think Cleveland